Hey, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make this super easy looped ribbon wreath. I'm going to be using 3 bolts of ribbon. On our website shopdesignerdiy.com we have a ton of ribbon collections that we've put together with 3 bolts, so any of those would work for this style. So the first thing you're going to want to do is, just to make it easier, I'm going to prep my ribbon. So I'm going to stack one right on top of the other, like that. And then I'm just going to unroll them all off of the bolts and roll them up this way. It makes it a lot easier. So I'm just going to throw these off. And just want to roll it like this. All the ribbons, so they're on top of each other. You can do that. I also have a wreath form from the Dollar Tree and a stack of zip ties. So just keep rolling until all of the ribbon is off of your bolts. Okay, so now that I have it all rolled up, these are the ribbons I am choosing. This one's 2-inch, these are 2.5-inch. You can do a variety of widths. You can do all 2.5-inch. I just wouldn't suggest doing like all 3.5 inches. You want to get some wider ones. You can also use a 4-inch. So what you're going to want to do is about 1 inch from the end. We're just going to gather it. And we are going to be adding all of our ribbon onto this outer, like the middle outer ring, the second from the outer edge. This one, it's raised up. It's hard to tell in the video, but this is the one I'm going to be attaching them all to. And I'm going to start by attaching it right here where there's the center bar so it doesn't move. So I'm going to place it on, and then I'm going to zip tie it so it is going around where that little center bar is. Pull it nice and snug. I don't want it to go anywhere. I'm also going to cut my zip ties at the end. And I do my zip ties coming out the top. That way they get hidden in the loops and I don't have to worry about it like scratching the door. Okay, so for the size of your loops, it's very important to make them all the same size. So I'm going to use my hand as a guide. So like this, I put my hand in. I'm going to do the same thing to all of them so they end up about the same size. And right at the bottom here is where I'm going to pinch it. And I'm going to add it again right onto that same ring. Get my zip tie. This is one of the easiest ways to make a wreath. Now, I am going to do about 5 loops per like grouping on the peg. See the sections? I'm going to try and do 5 loops per section. So again, use your hand for sizing, gather it, and zip tie it right onto the same ring all the way around. You could cut your zip ties as you go if you want. It's just personal preference. You can do whatever you want. Gather it. And I'm going to do one more loop after this one to finish this section. Okay, So there is the first section, 5 loops. Show you as best I can. Once we fill in all of these sections, we're going to be pulling all the ribbons apart to fill it in. So it's that easy. We're going to do this all the way around the wreath form. So you're just going to keep going. Now, while we're doing this, you can pause the video because I am going to skip ahead so that I do not bore you. All right, so I am finishing off the last section. Still zip tying. This is one of the easiest styles. I love how these look. So after I get done with all of this, I'm going to make a bow to put on it. And like I mentioned in the beginning, we have some amazing sets available on our website. So it's already grouped together with 3 ribbons. You could use 4 ribbons if you want. You could use all solid color, all glitter. I'm going to try and do several different videos with all different styles so you guys can see how many different ways there are to do the same style, and it looks completely different every time. Okay, so I'm going to do one more loop. And I'm going to zip tie it right over this one, or like right next to it. So it's side by side, and then I'm going to cut the extra ribbon off. Get it nice and snug. Cut this ribbon pretty short. Don't accidentally cut through a loop. And now I'm going to go through and cut all the zip ties. So just going to go through one by one, cutting the zip ties. Move that out of my way. Keep cutting. If you have special fabric scissors you use, don't use those on the zip ties. Almost done. All right, let me clean up my mess. All right, so this is what it should look like at this point. We've finished our loops and we've cut all the zip ties. So now we are going to start fanning out all of the ribbons. So you're just going to pick a place, doesn't matter where, and I'm going to spread them all out. I'm going to separate them all, but every time I go to another loop, I'm going to do it in a different order. That way the whole wreath doesn't end up looking like green, purple, and black. So you just fan them out and kind of fluff them up. That's why it's important to use wired ribbons. So like for this next one, I'm going to pull the green in, do the black in the middle, purple on the outer edge. And then for this one, I'm going to pull the purple towards the inside edge, green in the middle. So see how I kind of mixed up the order of the ribbons? You're going to want to do that all the way around. Okay, so once I finished fluffing, this is what it looks like. Look how cute it is. All right, so now we have all this extra ribbon we're gonna make a bow with. So I'm gonna move that up a little bit. You can pick any order you want. Since this one is a 2-inch and these are 2.5 inch, I'm gonna make this the top layer. So I'll probably do bottom layer, middle layer, top layer. Kind of unroll that a little bit. So first you want to decide what kind of bow you want. I want one that has tails. So I'm going to kind of measure about how long I want a tail. I can always trim the tail shorter after. So I'm going to start with that. Right here is where I'm going to start bunching it. I'm just going to do a couple loops. One on that side. I'm going to do one on this side. And then when I'm holding it, I kind of go like this to make sure they're about the same size loop. If that makes sense. Bunch it. I'm going to do another loop. This back layer, I want to have 4 loops total. And then make sure these are about the same size. And then this last loop, it's going to come over. Make sure it's about the same size. And I'm going to bunch it now in the middle. And I'm going to use, you could use a zip tie. I use floral wire. We have it on our site. I made a little slip knot. So I'm just going to go right around the bow, hold the little loop, and bring the ends through it. And then I'm going to leave this wire attached, and every layer I'm going to just stack right onto it. So I'm going to pull it from the top of it since this is the back layer. And I'm just going to do a nice little knot. Okay. Then I'm going to measure out, make sure the length is the same-ish for the tails. And cut the ends different at the end. So there is your first layer. That looks so cute. Next layer is going to be the purple. I'll separate my ribbon a little bit so I'm not wrestling it. And like I said, we're going to do the same technique, and then I'm just going to add it right on top and use the same wire to tie it. Actually, I'm going to scoop that aside now that I don't need it. So measure out about the same length for the tail. Gather it. And these loops I want just a little bit smaller. That way the black and white one shows a little bit. So you just kind of eyeball it. You want to make sure that kind of shows a little bit. And that's the size I'm going to go off for my other loops. So make this loop. Gather it and make sure those are about the same. The more you get used to bow making, you won't have to like double check the size and everything like that. You'll get used to just eyeballing it and making it even. Untwist my ribbon a little bit. This ribbon is amazing. It has a velvet spider web. It's hard to tell the black is velvet. So I'm just going to pinch the center and set it right on top. Use the same wire to tie it. Now once you add it on, if a loop is bigger or smaller, you could adjust it if needed. Pull this one a little bit. Cut the tail. Now the next and last layer. This one is a black glitter harlequin. Cute. Okay, got the same length of tail. And again, this layer, the loops are going to be even smaller. Oops, I'll do it this way. Alright, this is my last layer, so I'm going to tie the wire nice and snug, then I'm going to bring the wire to the back of the bow. Cut the ribbon. Okay, so once I bring the wire to the back, I'm going to double knot it. And that is what it looks like. I am going to use the same wire and I'm going to tie it directly onto my wreath. So I think, let's see where we want this. And I can always cut the tails shorter if I want to. We can do the top. I think I'm going to off-center it a little bit like that. I've also done ones where it's like on the bottom, but I don't feel like having super long tails hanging. So, yep, that's where I'm going to put it. So I'm just going to be adding the wire around the whole wreath form. Pretty snug so it doesn't move. Carefully tip it over. And I'm just tying it around the wreath frame. Cut the extra wire. It should be tied like that. And now, fluff up my bow. It's so cute. And I am going to shorten the tails a little bit. So I'm just going to cut them all even, and then I will dovetail them. So eyeball it. Okay, now you just fold it in half, and from the edge of the ribbon towards the crease, cut at an angle. Just like that. That one was a different width, so I did it individually. These two are the same width, so I'm just going to do them at the same time together. And so the edges of the ribbon don't fray, I'm going to be using Fray Check. It's another thing we have on our website. Looks like this. And it's just a clear gloss. It dries clear. It's not sticky. You just dab it on the cut ends of the ribbon. Just glide it along the edge. You just need a little bit. And after like 1 minute, it dries. And it seals all the ribbons so they don't get all frayed on the ends. All right. Super easy. Look how pretty it is. Now I can add a little bit of ruffle to my bows. That's what I like. You could also curl the tails if you want. And that is how it looks. I wish you guys could see how vivid the colors are. It's just hard to see it on the video. So pretty. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel to check out all our other videos, and then get all your materials available at shopdesignerdiy.com. All right, happy crafting.